Imagine for a moment that Alaska was once part of Russia. Today, Alaska, one of the harshest and most remote states in the US, was formerly a part of the Russian Empire. It was sold to the United States in 1867 for a record-breaking $7.2 million. Alaska is not only one of the northernmost states, but also has the longest coastline in the US, stretching over 10,000 kilometers. The region has a challenging climate that makes it unique and markedly different from the rest of the country, while remaining an important strategic and natural resource. Did you know there's a lava river that has been burning for decades? In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, there's the Nyiragongo volcano, which is famous for its lava lake, the largest in the world. This volcanic lake is one of the few on the planet that remains almost constantly active. Its lava flows at an incredible speed, up to 100 kilometers per hour, creating a genuine river of fire. Since scientists began monitoring the volcano in the mid-20th century, this fiery flow has practically never stopped. The lava river of Nyiragongo is a stunning representation of nature's raw power, and its heat can be felt for kilometers around. How about this? Every fifth dollar in US taxes goes to defense? This essentially means that the US spends vast sums on developing its military strength and maintaining global influence. One of the most recognizable symbols of American power, the 100 bill, features Benjamin Franklin, who was never a president but played a crucial role in the nation's history. This approach symbolizes not only the influence of individuals, but also the importance of strategic management at all levels, including defense funding. Turns out mantises are genuine aerial snipers. Camouflaged as twigs or leaves, mantises might appear peaceful, but they are among the deadliest predators of the insect world. Their eyes, made of thousands of visual units, form 3D images with razor-sharp depth perception, letting them track even the smallest movements. When prey is in range, the mantis doesn't pounce blindly. It slows its heartbeat, locks into position, and launches a rapid, calculated strike in just 40 milliseconds. Its spiked forelegs act like spring-loaded traps, capturing prey with over 90% success. Some species even snatch insects out of the air with shocking accuracy. Evolution has equipped mantises with everything a sniper needs: camouflage, stillness, precision vision, and instant reaction time. They are living proof that small size doesn't mean small skill. Can you imagine The Rock as a movie star? Before he became a household name in Hollywood, Dwayne Johnson was rocking the world of professional wrestling. Known as The Rock in WWE, he captivated audiences with his larger-than-life personality and electrifying performances in the ring. His charisma and charm made him a fan favorite, but he didn't stop there. After establishing himself as a wrestling icon, Dwayne decided to try his luck in acting. Surprisingly, he quickly found success on the big screen, showcasing his talent in films like The Scorpion King and Fast and Furious franchises. By 2018, he was not only a superstar, but also the highest-paid actor in the world, raking in an incredible $23 million for his role in the hit movie, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. This meteoric rise from wrestling champ to movie mogul is a testament to his hard work and determination. Dwayne Johnson has proven that with passion and perseverance, you can pivot and thrive in different arenas, inspiring countless fans along the way. Did you know Forrest Gump ran through a movie paradise? In the iconic film Forrest Gump, there's a memorable scene where Forrest sets off on his epic cross-country run, and it was filmed in the breathtaking Monument Valley, a stunning natural landmark situated on the border of Arizona and Utah. This majestic area is not just a backdrop for Forrest's journey, it has become synonymous with classic American cinema. Its dramatic red rocks and endless horizons have played host to countless famous films, especially westerns, creating an image that many people instantly recognize. Think of classic movies featuring cowboys, vast deserts, and thrilling shows. Many of them were shot in this striking landscape. Monument Valley's beauty is so unique that it captures the spirit of the American West, transporting audiences into the heart of nature and adventure. So next time you see Forrest running through that captivating landscape, remember that he's not just running. He's traversing a piece of cinematic history where film legends were made. Who would have thought that quokkas always look happy? The quokka's viral fame stems from its irresistibly cheerful expression, a wide-eyed, open-mouthed smile that melts hearts online. But behind the grin is biology, not joy. Their facial structure naturally forms a pleasant look, regardless of mood. That said, quokkas truly are more sociable than most wild animals. Native to predator-free islands in Australia, they've evolved without the instinct to fear humans. Over generations, their willingness to approach people brought food rewards, favoring the survival of friendly individuals. As a result, modern quokkas are bold, curious, and often interact directly with tourists. Their behavior is a case study in how evolutionary pressures, not emotions, can shape the friendliness of a species. So next time you see a quokka selfie, remember, it's not smiling for the camera. It's thriving thanks to a perfect mix of charm and adaptation. Wow, it turns out that Virginia has gifted the United States more presidents than any other state. Among the notable presidents born in this state are figures like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison. Virginia is considered the birthplace of American democracy, and its historical legacy continues to influence the political life of the country. This also symbolizes the importance of the state in shaping the political culture of the U.S. and its role in the nation's quest for independence. Believe it or not, thunder travels far and wide. It might surprise you to learn that the rumble of thunder can be heard from as far as 15 miles away. However, this distance isn't set in stone. It can change based on how intense the storm is and how big it is. When lightning strikes, it heats the air around it to a staggering temperature, causing a rapid expansion of air that creates sound waves. This is the thunder we hear. If the storm is large and the thunder is particularly loud, those sound waves can travel even further, especially if the atmospheric conditions are just right. On the other hand, during smaller storms, you might only catch a distant crack or rumble. Many factors come into play, like humidity and wind direction, which can influence how sound travels. So next time you hear thunder rumbling in the distance, remember it's not just a loud boom, it's a sign of nature's power reaching out miles away. Why do cat whiskers really resemble antennas? Whiskers, technically called vibrissae, are far more than decorative features on a cat's face. These thick, stiff hairs are deeply embedded in nerve-rich follicles, making them ultra-sensitive to touch, airflow, and vibration. Found not only on the muzzle but also above the eyes, on the jaw, and even on the paws, whiskers help cats navigate tight spaces, hunt in darkness, and judge distances before leaping. They detect air currents around objects, giving cats a kind of sixth sense that lets them see with touch. When stalking prey, whiskers track the slightest movements, helping cats pinpoint the exact location of a target. During a jump, they act like gyroscopic sensors, helping with last-second mid-air corrections. In essence, whiskers are natural motion detectors and navigation tools, biological radar systems that turn every cat into a precision-controlled predator. Why do wolves run on their toes? Wolves have a unique way of moving. They run on their toes. This special technique helps them make quick stops, sharp turns, and protect the pads of their feet from wear and tear. Running on their toes keeps wolves agile and ready to react to anything in their environment, like having built-in brakes and durable shoes all in one. This skill makes wolves some of the most efficient hunters in the wild, allowing them to navigate dense forests and open terrain with ease. The royal game of is the oldest board game, over 4,000 years old. This ancient game was discovered during excavations in Mesopotamia and dates back to around 2600 BCE. Played by two players on a 20-square board, the game involved strategic moves with pieces that maneuvered around obstacles. It had a major influence on the development of future board games, demonstrating the strategic thinking of ancient civilizations. Just imagine how deep-rooted our love for games really is. Is it possible? There's blue fire on volcanoes. On the island of Java, Indonesia, stands the Aegean volcano, famous for its unique natural phenomenon, blue fire. This extraordinary sight is caused by the high concentration of sulfur in volcanic gases, which ignites upon contact with the air, producing a bright blue flame. This blue fire can only be seen at night, creating a breathtaking and almost mystical display. Tourists from all over the world travel here to witness this rare phenomenon that cannot be seen anywhere else. Did you know there are eternal lightning storms on Earth? In Venezuela, there is a place called Catatumbo, where lightning strikes almost constantly. This unique natural phenomenon occurs at Lake Maracaibo, where lightning can be observed on up to 250 days each year. Known as the Catatumbo lightning storm, lightning can flash up to 280 times an hour. Scientists believe this is due to the region's unique topography, which creates perfect conditions for constant discharges. This location has become a major attraction for tourists and scientists from around the world. What if I told you about Dubai's stunning floral wonderland? The Miracle Garden in Dubai isn't just any garden, it's the largest flower garden in the entire world. Home to a breathtaking 150 million flowers, this vibrant oasis bursts with color and creativity. Each bloom is artfully arranged into jaw-dropping designs, making it feel like stepping into a fairy tale. The garden opens its doors each year from November to April, welcoming visitors eager to bask in its beauty during the cooler months. Among its many attractions, you can stroll through a whimsical flower tunnel that wraps petals around you like a floral embrace, or admire the incredible floral castle that looks like something straight out of a storybook. Truly, every corner of the Miracle Garden tells a different tale through flowers, showcasing imaginative displays that change each season. Whether you're a nature lover, a photographer seeking stunning shots, or simply looking for a unique day out, this garden is a must-visit gem that brings joy and wonder to everyone who steps inside. Could it be that a shark's skin is perfect for hydrodynamics? Unlike most marine animals, sharks aren't just sleek, they're engineered by nature for speed. Their skin is covered in dermal denticles, tiny tooth-like scales that point backward and create microscopic grooves. These grooves form directional channels that streamline water flow, dramatically reducing drag and turbulence as the shark moves. This allows them to glide silently, reach speeds up to 60 km/h, and conserve energy on long hunts. But the advantages don't stop at speed. The textured surface also repels parasites and microorganisms, preventing biofouling, something engineers are mimicking in cutting-edge ship coatings and Olympic-grade swimsuits. Shark skin isn't just a protective layer, it's a built-in propulsion system and antibacterial suit rolled into one, honed by 400 million years of aquatic evolution. How many toes do you think cats have on their front paws? Cats' paws are truly unique, not just because they're cute. Most cats have 5 toes on their front paws and only 4 on their back paws. This makes their movement system particularly efficient for hunting and climbing. However, some polydactyl cats have extra toes, making them even more unique. It seems nature decided that a cat's paw shouldn't just be a survival tool, but also a perfect machine for capturing human hearts. How much do you think the world's most expensive pizza costs? In 2007, Scottish chef Domenico Crolla created the Royal Zero Roast 7 pizza, priced at a staggering $4,200. This gourmet pizza was topped with luxurious ingredients like edible gold flakes, caviar, smoked salmon, and venison marinated in champagne. It was auctioned off for charity, making it a culinary masterpiece worth its weight in gold. Now that's a slice of royal extravagance. Did you know that Hawaii is home to the tallest mountain peak in the world? Although Mount Everest is the highest point on land, when considering the underwater portion of the Mauna Kea volcano, it is 1.9 kilometers taller. Mauna Kea is a submarine volcano that begins on the ocean floor and rises nearly 10 kilometers upwards. From its summit, there are breathtaking views, and this volcano is regarded not only as a geographical wonder, but also as sacred by the local Hawaiians. Mauna Kea attracts the attention of scientists and tourists from around the globe, as its grandeur inspires admiration and respect. This might surprise you. Boston Marathon's rich history. The Boston Marathon, held every year since 1897, is not just any race. It's a celebration of endurance and sportsmanship that has captivated runners and spectators alike for over a century. As one of the oldest and most prestigious marathons in the world, it has grown from a modest start, with just 15 runners in its first edition, to a spectacular event that now welcomes thousands of participants from around the globe. The marathon runs through the scenic streets of Boston, challenging runners with its infamous Heartbreak Hill and showcasing the city's vibrant spirit as thousands cheer them on. Notably, the event has also been a platform for social change. Women were officially allowed to enter the race in 1972, and it has since become a symbol of resilience, especially after the tragic events of 2013 when the city came together, showcasing the power of community. Each April, locals and tourists alike come together to witness this incredible display of human spirit, making it a truly unifying experience for all. Interestingly, bees build homes out of their own wax. Deep inside every hive lies one of nature's most extraordinary architectural wonders, the honeycomb. Each cell is a perfect hexagon, an efficient, stable shape that maximizes space while minimizing material. But this structure isn't built with tools. It's made entirely from wax secreted by the bees themselves. Worker bees consume honey, convert it into wax through specialized abdominal glands, and use their mandibles to mold it. It takes about 1 kilogram of wax to build 100,000 hexagonal cells, enough to store honey, pollen, and developing larvae. But the honeycomb is more than storage. It maintains a stable internal climate of around 35 degrees Celsius and 60% humidity, regulated by fanning bees and the comb's design. Antibacterial enzymes within the wax protect the hive from mold and pathogens. These waxen cities are biological marvels, engineered by instinct, perfected by generations, and unrivaled by even human architecture in terms of precision and function. Could a cuckoo really deceive other birds? The cuckoo is a master manipulator of the avian world. Rather than build its own nest, it lays eggs in those of other bird species, a behavior known as brood parasitism. But this isn't a haphazard trick. The female cuckoo carefully selects a host whose eggs resemble her own, often mimicking the color, size, and speckle patterns with near-perfect accuracy. Once laid, the cuckoo chick usually hatches first and instinctively pushes the host's eggs or chicks out of the nest. The unsuspecting foster parents, driven by instinct, feed the fast-growing imposter without recognizing the deception. This frees the cuckoo from parental duties, allowing it to invest energy in laying more eggs across multiple nests. It's a strategy that requires cunning, precision, and evolutionary finesse, proof that survival isn't always about brute strength, but sometimes about outsmarting your neighbors. Why do seahorses dance before mating? Seahorses perform entire rituals, dancing with their partners to form a special bond before raising offspring. These dances can last for hours, and during them, pairs swim in sync, change colors, and even hold each other by the tails. It's not just a dance, it's a true expression of affection that helps strengthen the bond between partners. In the underwater world, these dances surprise with their grace and tenderness. Did you know there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on Earth? Surprisingly, there are more stars in the universe than all the grains of sand on every beach on Earth. This cosmic fact highlights the unimaginable vastness of our universe. When you look at the night sky, there are billions and billions of stars, each potentially home to planets we know nothing about yet. Our place in the cosmos feels even more humbling when you realize that stars fill the space far beyond what we can even imagine. Did you know that there are cities in the United States named after European capitals like Paris, Moscow, Berlin, and St. Petersburg? This is an interesting feature, as the early settlers in America often sought to bring parts of their native culture to the New World by naming places after the Old World. For instance, cities named Paris and Berlin in many U.S. states have become symbols of the old European traditions carried over to New America. Is it true that Iceland has no railways? Iceland really has no railways, despite technological advancements in other countries. The main reason is the geographical features of the country, which consists of volcanic rocks and mountainous terrain, making railway construction extremely difficult and expensive. Additionally, due to the small population, roads are a more convenient mode of transport. So despite all the progress, you won't find trains there. Did you know that kangaroos can't jump backward? Kangaroos can easily leap up to 12 meters forward, but they're entirely unable to move backward. Their long and powerful tails provide balance, but also prevent backward propulsion. This limitation is due to the unique structure of their legs, which are solely adapted for forward jumping. Kangaroos are true masters of one-way leaping. Did you know that secret staircases were built into Italian houses? In Italian cities like Venice and Florence, aristocrats often built houses with secret staircases that allowed them to hide in case of danger. These staircases were hidden within the walls and led to secret rooms or exits. Some of them still exist today and are true architectural treasures. Even now, these hidden passages continue to fascinate explorers and tourists, intrigued by the mysteries of the past. Organic food, truth or myth about its benefits? Research shows that there is no significant difference between organic and conventional foods in terms of nutritional value. While many believe that organic products are healthier and taste better, science doesn't support major distinctions. Some studies have also found no notable differences in taste. However, people often choose organic foods for lower pesticide levels and more eco-friendly farming practices. When choosing between organic and conventional, it's up to each person to decide what matters most: taste or caring for the planet. Why Washington, D.C. has no skyscrapers? Washington, District of Columbia, is a city with a unique skyline. There are no skyscrapers. This is because of the Height of Buildings Act of 1910, which limits building heights to ensure that no structure can overshadow the Capitol or the Washington Monument. As a result, the city has a distinct, low-rise architectural style that preserves its historic charm and keeps the monuments visible from almost anywhere in the city. Is it really possible that in Spain there is an underground city without a single house above ground? In the town of Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain, people live directly under the rocks with their homes built into caves hidden beneath the earth. This town has existed for hundreds of years, and its streets are literally covered with giant rock slabs, creating the feeling of an underground world. The rock houses protect residents from summer heat and winter cold. Setenil de las Bodegas is so unique that tourists from all over the world come to see how life can exist in such a hidden and mysterious place. Have you ever considered that ethnic tension in the U.S. is still an issue? Tensions between ethnic groups remain one of the most pressing social issues in the United States. Historically, laws prohibiting marriage between people of different races were in place, and it wasn't until 1967 that this ban was lifted. Nevertheless, racial tension continues to be a significant topic in American politics, culture, and daily life. Social movements like Black Lives Matter aim to highlight this issue, which remains relevant to society as a whole. Did you know there's a glacier on Pluto the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined? It turns out that on the distant dwarf planet Pluto, there's a massive glacier called Sputnik Planitia. This glacier covers an area the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined. Amazingly, this glacier is made of nitrogen ice, not water, as it would be on Earth. At the center of this region lies a heart-shaped feature made of frozen nitrogen that slowly flows, similar to glaciers on Earth. This fascinating landscape is just one of Pluto's mysteries that continue to amaze scientists. Each planet in our solar system is truly unique. Guess why Liberia banned wild animal consumption? Following the devastating Ebola outbreak in 2014, Liberia made a bold move to protect public health by banning the consumption of wild animals. This decision was crucial because many of these animals can carry diseases that jump from animals to humans, putting entire communities at risk. But instead of leaving people without a source of protein, the government encouraged a sustainable alternative: breeding giant snails. These snails are not only fascinating with their impressive size and ability to reproduce rapidly, but they're also packed with protein, making them a nutritious food option. They require less space and resources to raise compared to traditional livestock, which is great for keeping the environment healthy. As locals embraced this new approach, giant snails became a popular ingredient in dishes, helping families stay healthy while sidestepping the risks associated with hunting wild animals. This shift highlights how we can adapt our food sources in the face of challenges while promoting both health and sustainability. Did you know that Americans produce a quarter of all goods and services in the world? They make up just 4% of the world's population, yet they produce a staggering 25% of all goods and services on the planet. That's more than countries with billion-plus populations like China, India, and Russia combined. It's interesting how they manage to maintain such power. In reality, the strength of the American economy is attributed not only to the size of its domestic market, but also to its unique capacity for innovation. Americans create technologies that change the world and actively develop industries such as high technology, medical science, and financial services. Did you know that the kiwi is a nocturnal sleuth with its nose at the tip of its bill? Unlike any other bird on Earth, the kiwi's nostrils are located at the very tip of its long, probing beak, an extraordinary adaptation that allows it to literally smell its prey before touching it. Living in the forest floor's leaf litter, the kiwi uses this keen sense of smell, along with sensitive whisker-like feathers, vibrissae, to detect insects and worms buried 10 centimeters below ground. With poor eyesight, it relies on these tools to navigate and forage by night. The kiwi also lays one of the largest eggs in proportion to body size, up to 20% of its body weight, requiring intense investment from the female and careful care from both parents. Endemic to New Zealand and sacred in Maori culture, the kiwi is a conservation icon, a bird that defies flight, daylight, and bird-like norms, all while thriving in its underground world. Why is space black? It's connected to Olbers's paradox, which explains why the sky is dark despite the countless stars in the universe. Though there are many stars, their light doesn't fill all of space for several reasons. First, the universe is expanding, and many stars are moving away from us so fast that their light can't reach Earth. Second, there's a cosmic horizon beyond which we cannot see, making stars beyond that point invisible to us. Why is the American economy so strong? What is the American economy? It comprises half of the world's most valuable companies, with 8 out of the top 10 being American. But what makes this economy so powerful? It's due to its ability to adapt and invest in new sectors. Historically, the U.S. has been very successful in choosing development strategies and has leveraged the economic opportunities from the wars of the 20th century for its growth. Moreover, the U.S. is not only strong domestically, but also controls a significant portion of global trade and production. Can you imagine that the U.S. controls 80% of global maritime trade? In fact, the U.S. is a major force in global shipping routes. 80% of world trade moves via the oceans, and surprisingly, the U.S. controls a significant portion of this traffic. In the 20th century, Americans recognized how to leverage their geographic potential to dominate the global economy. For a long time, trade routes ran through the Atlantic Ocean, but starting in the 1980s, an equal amount of goods began to be transported via the Pacific Ocean. This allowed the U.S. to expand its influence and gain an advantage in trade with Asian countries. Can you imagine that the total weight of all ants on Earth equals the weight of all humans? Despite their tiny size, ants are among the most numerous creatures on the planet. The total weight of all ants on Earth is equal to the weight of all humans. This astonishing fact highlights just how numerous these small workers are. Ants live in every corner of the planet, and their contribution to ecosystems is incredibly important. It's another example of how nature surprises us with its unexpected scales. Who would have thought that ants are such heavyweights in the natural world? Photography, the art of stopping time. The ability to capture a moment on paper may seem like magic, but today it's a part of our everyday lives. The history of photography is filled with fascinating facts. The first attempts to freeze an image were made in the early 1800s by Thomas Wedgwood, but without success. Modern photography, as we know it today, became possible thanks to the experiments of pioneers like Joseph Nicephore Niepce and William Henry Fox Talbot. Their innovations forever changed the way we preserve and share memories. Why do different countries have different sized banknotes? Banknotes in various countries are sized differently to help people with visual impairments distinguish them by touch. For instance, in the United States, all bills are the same size. But in euros and British pounds, each denomination varies in length and width. This helps not only the visually impaired, but also everyone else quickly differentiate denominations without looking. Additionally, it adds protection against counterfeiting, as counterfeit bills rarely match the exact sizes of the originals. What if I told you there's an island in Japan covered in volcanic ash? Sakurajima Island in Japan is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. Eruptions occur so frequently that a layer of volcanic ash covers the entire island. Local residents have adapted to living in these conditions, and the island even has special machines to clean volcanic ash from the streets. Despite the constant threat, this island is home to thousands of people and a popular tourist destination. Can you imagine that starfish live without a brain? Starfish don't have a brain in the way we understand it, but that doesn't stop them from moving, eating, and even regenerating lost limbs. Instead of a central command system, they rely on a nerve ring that circles their mouth, connecting to radial nerves that stretch into each arm. This decentralized network allows each limb to process information independently, making decisions locally while staying connected to the whole. Their movement is powered by a hydraulic system. Seawater is pumped into hundreds of tube feet, each equipped with suction pads, allowing starfish to crawl with gentle precision. When injured, they don't panic, they regrow. Their arms can regenerate completely, sometimes even forming an entirely new starfish. All of this occurs without a brain, challenging our assumptions about what intelligence and coordination look like in nature. Elephants fear bees. And that saves farms. Elephants are giants of the savannah. But there's something tiny that makes them run away. Bees. African farmers discovered that elephants are terrified of these buzzing insects. Using this fear, they started setting up beehives along the borders of their fields. These beehive fences create a natural bee barrier, and elephants, hearing the buzzing, avoid these areas to avoid painful stings. This ingenious solution helps farmers protect their crops from being trampled, maintaining a peaceful coexistence with these majestic animals without resorting to violence. Nature truly is the best ally. This might sound crazy, but the mantis shrimp punches harder than a bullet. The mantis shrimp may look like a colorful reef dweller, but it packs one of the most powerful punches in the animal kingdom. Its club-like limb accelerates at 23 meters per second, faster than a .22 caliber bullet, and delivers over 10,000 G of force. When it strikes, it not only smashes shells, but also creates cavitation bubbles that collapse with a second explosive hit, producing shock waves, heat, and even light. The limb's structure includes a saddle-shaped energy-storing mechanism, which scientists now study to develop resilient materials for body armor in aerospace. Aquarium glass has cracked under its blows. It's not just brute strength, it's precision engineering perfected over millions of years. With explosive power and mind-blowing speed, the mantis shrimp is one of nature's deadliest biomechanical weapons. What if I told you continents were once connected? Just a slim 2.4 miles or 3.8 kilometers across the Bering Strait, you can find the narrowest gap between Asia and North America. This might sound surprising, but during the last ice age, this icy stretch wasn't just water, it formed part of a land bridge called Beringia. Imagine a world where our modern continents were linked by this vast expanse of land, allowing ancient humans and wildlife to easily walk from one side to the other. This migration route teemed with life, making it a vital passage for animal species and early human ancestors. As the climate warmed and the ice melted, Beringia gradually disappeared beneath the waves, leaving behind a remarkable tale of how continents and species moved and adapted. Now, what remains is a chilly expanse of water separating two incredibly diverse regions, rich in history and stories of connection. So next time you think of the Bering Strait, remember it's more than just water. It's a reminder of how connected our world once was. How far can a lion's roar be heard? The secret of the king of beasts. The lion rightly bears the title of king of beasts. and its roar is one of the most powerful sounds in the animal kingdom. A lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles, 8 kilometers away, and it's almost as loud as thunder. This roar not only shows the lion's strength, but also helps it hold its territory, scare off rivals, and communicate with other pride members. If you heard such a roar in the wild, you'd definitely know who's the boss. Just imagine for a second a sloth carrying a living garden. Sloths are so slow that algae, fungi, and even tiny insects take up residence in their fur, turning them into mobile rainforests. The algae not only provide camouflage, but may also offer nutrients absorbed through the skin. In return, the sloth's fur offers a moist, stable microclimate. Certain species of moths live only in sloth fur, laying their eggs in the sloth's dung. It's an ecosystem in miniature, a green cloak that hides the sloth from predators and supports a network of life. Biologists have found novel antibiotic-producing fungi in this furry habitat, organisms unknown anywhere else on Earth. So when you see a sloth, don't just think lazy, think life-giving. This slow, deliberate creature wears an entire biosphere on its back, blending biology and ecology in one of nature's most unexpected symbioses. Have you ever thought about how bats are the only flying mammals? Their wings are unlike birds' wings. They are special membranes stretched between elongated fingers. This unique construction allows bats to perform complex aerial maneuvers while hunting insects. They also use echolocation to navigate in the dark, making them incredibly precise hunters. Bats play a vital role in ecosystems, eating vast numbers of insects and pollinating plants. Did you know there are about 4,000 satellites flying above you? Currently, over 4,000 active satellites are orbiting Earth, performing various tasks. They provide GPS signals, weather data, telecommunications, and even climate monitoring. But that's not all. Each year, more satellites are launched into orbit, raising serious concerns about space debris, which could threaten future space missions. Have you ever wondered what the average salary in the UK is? The average salary for Britons is about $30,000 per year, which is roughly $3,200 per month or 300,000 rubles. The British pound is one of the oldest currencies still in use today and is also one of the most expensive currencies, making it attractive to investors. However, the pound is also one of the most counterfeited currencies. This might sound crazy, but butterflies migrate across generations. Monarch butterflies undertake one of the most epic and mysterious migrations in nature, traveling up to 4,000 kilometers from North America to central Mexico. But here's the twist. No single butterfly completes the round trip. It takes 3 to 4 generations, with each offspring continuing the journey their ancestors started. The final generation, known as the Methuselah generation, lives up to 8 months, unlike the usual few weeks, to make the long return flight northward. Scientists are still unraveling how these butterflies navigate using the sun, Earth's magnetic field, and genetic memory. Ancient Mesoamerican cultures saw monarchs as the returning souls of ancestors, especially around the Day of the Dead. With climate change threatening their habitats, monarchs are not just beautiful. They're vital indicators of ecological health and resilience. Their migration is a relay of life, memory, and survival. Who would have thought that clouds can weigh millions of tons? Despite their light and airy appearance, clouds actually have massive weight. 1 cubic meter of cloud contains about half a gram of water. Considering that a typical cumulus cloud can have a volume of over 1 billion cubic meters, its mass can reach 500,000 tons. That's about the same as 400,000 cars. Imagine tons of water floating above you. Wow! Turns out a lion's roar is louder than a jet engine at takeoff. Lions are not only kings of the savannah, they also reign sonically. A lion's roar can reach an ear-shattering 114 decibels and be heard up to 8 kilometers away, depending on wind and terrain. The secret lies in their vocal folds, which are uniquely shaped to produce a deep, resonant bellow using minimal lung pressure. These roars serve critical purposes: claiming territory, coordinating hunts, and reinforcing social hierarchies within a pride. The cool, dense air of night helps carry the sound across vast plains. Even in tall grass, pride members recognize one another by the distinct pitch and pattern of their roars. African folklore often paints the lion as a voice of thunder and dominance, and for good reason. Biologists use roaring to study population dynamics and pride structures, proving that in the wild, sound is power, and lions wield it like no other. Did you know the world's smallest dog weighs just half a kilogram? Meet Millie, a Chihuahua from Puerto Rico, who holds the title of the world's smallest dog. Millie is only 9.65 centimeters tall, or about 3.8 inches, and weighs around 500 grams, just over 1 pound. When she was born in 2011, she was so tiny that she had to be fed through a pipette. Millie has earned her place in the Guinness World Records as the smallest living dog, and her tiny size makes her a true star among dog lovers. How would you react to the fact that Winston Churchill was born in a women's restroom? What if you found out that one of Britain's greatest politicians was born in such an unusual place? This fact about Churchill has become almost mythical, and while it may not be true, such astonishing and vivid moments have become part of his legend. Churchill, who served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom twice, played a crucial role in the Allies' victory in World War II. His speeches, resolve, and ability to make important decisions during the most challenging times of the war are key features of his political legacy. Did you know penguins can drink seawater? Penguins are true survival experts in the ocean. Unlike many other animals, they can drink seawater without any problem. How do they do it? It's all thanks to a special gland above their eyes that filters out the salt from the water. This natural filter allows penguins to use ocean water for hydration, turning it into drinkable water. Imagine penguins drink salt water as if it were a refreshing drink, while other animals have to search for fresh water. Their unique ability to drink seawater is yet another example of how ingenious nature can be. Hard to believe, but snakes can sleep with their eyes open. Snakes don't blink because they don't have eyelids. Instead, their eyes are covered by a transparent scale. During sleep, their eyes remain open, giving the impression that they are always watching their surroundings. This feature helps snakes stay alert to threats even while resting. The transparent scale also protects their eyes from dust and dirt, which is especially important for desert and forest dwellers. It's an incredible adaptation that allows them to sense danger even in their sleep. Can you imagine thousands of redheads parading through one city? In Tilburg, Netherlands, something magical happens each year. Over 20,000 natural redheads from more than 80 countries gather for Redhead Days. What began as a photography project grew into a global celebration of genetic rarity, identity, and pride. With parades, group portraits, storytelling, art workshops, and music, it's a sea of copper, auburn, and strawberry blonde, like nowhere else on Earth. Attendees exchange tips on hair care, sun protection, and dealing with stereotypes. But this isn't just about hair, it's about connection. Redheads make up less than 2% of the global population, and here they find community and confidence. The festival proves that diversity deserves more than tolerance. It deserves joyful, unapologetic celebration. Can you pronounce a word with 189,000 letters? The longest word in the English language is the chemical name of the protein titin, and it consists of a staggering 189,000 letters. Pronouncing it could take several hours. Of course, such a word isn't used in everyday life, but it exists as a linguistic marvel of science. This fact shows just how complex and amazing language can be when it comes to science and chemistry. Can you imagine that some flowers eat mice? This isn't science fiction, it's reality. There are carnivorous plants, such as the nepenthes or pitcher plants, that can trap and digest not only insects but also small animals like mice. These plants secrete sweet nectar to lure their prey, and once the animal falls into the pitcher, it can't escape. The plant world is far more cunning and mysterious than it seems. Is it true that counterfeiting has existed since the inception of coins? Counterfeiting emerged simultaneously with the first coins. Ancient fraudsters began to chip away at the edges of coins to create new ones, thereby diminishing their value. To counteract this, coins started to feature special edges, reading, making counterfeiting more difficult. Despite these measures, counterfeiting remains a relevant issue in various countries today. Surprisingly, it's a fact. Banknotes contain microscopic traces of cocaine. They also harbor a large number of microbes, including potentially harmful ones like Staphylococcus. This is due to the fact that money changes hands among many people, making it a source of microbial contamination. Additionally, most American dollar bills show microscopic traces of cocaine, confirming their frequent use in various places and circumstances. Can you imagine that monkeys can use money? Experiments have shown that monkeys can be trained to use money. They demonstrate an understanding of its value, make economic choices, and exhibit human-like traits such as protesting against injustice or even engaging in prostitution among male monkeys. This finding raises questions about how much our economic behavioral patterns may be common across species. What do you think makes Monument Valley one of America's most majestic natural wonders? Located in Utah, Monument Valley truly impresses with its natural grandeur. This plateau, featuring sandstone formations that can reach heights of up to 1,000 feet, has become a symbol of the Wild West and has been extensively featured in films, creating an iconic image of the American wilderness. These natural monuments, shaped by wind and time, represent more than just a landscape. They are a picturesque chronicle of nature, narrating the millennia-long processes of Earth's formation. How did jellyfish learn the secret of immortality? In the deep ocean lives the jellyfish Turritopsis dohrnii, known as the immortal jellyfish. Unlike other creatures, this jellyfish can revert to its juvenile state, effectively rewinding time. If it ages or suffers injury, it simply regenerates, starting its life cycle over. This process is called transdifferentiation. Scientists believe that the jellyfish's genetic mechanisms may one day help humans extend their lives. Studying the immortal jellyfish not only captivates us, but also opens the door to discovering the secrets of eternal youth. Did you know that some frogs can freeze solid and still survive? It turns out that certain frog species, like the wood frog, can completely freeze during winter and come back to life in the spring. These amazing amphibians can survive sub-zero temperatures by freezing almost entirely solid. Their hearts stop beating, they stop breathing, and their bodies turn rock hard. Yet when the weather warms up, they thaw and return to their usual lives, hopping around like nothing happened. Nature's cold storage system proves that frogs are some of the ultimate survivors. Can you guess which insect is the heaviest in the world? The giant weta, native to New Zealand, holds the title for the heaviest insect in the world. This massive bug can weigh up to 70 grams, more than a sparrow. Wetas can grow up to 10 centimeters long and are truly giant compared to typical crickets. This insect is the heavyweight champion of its species and continues to amaze even the most experienced entomologists with its colossal size. Did you know pirates believed earrings could improve eyesight? This quirky belief came from a time when sailors, often spending long days at sea, were keen on finding any way to enhance their vision. Pirates, in particular, thought that precious metals like gold and silver held special powers. They wore earrings not just as a fashion statement, but because they believed these adornments could ward off ailments or improve their eyesight. Imagine a fearsome pirate with an eye patch over one eye and a glimmering earring in the other, confidently navigating through treacherous waters. While there's no scientific backing for this claim, after all, a shiny earring won't improve your vision, it became a staple part of their style. This superstition was so influential that it shaped how we picture pirates today, often portrayed with tough looks and extravagant earrings. So next time you see a pirate in a movie, remember there's more than just adventure in those jewels. There's a bit of history and mythology intertwined with fashion. Is it really true that lakes can be colorful? The Spotted Lake in British Columbia, Canada, is a stunning natural wonder that brings this idea to life. During the summer months, when the heat increases, the lake's saline waters evaporate, leaving behind a dazzling display of vibrant colors. The lake is rich in minerals, including magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium, which create colorful pools that resemble painters' palettes scattered across its surface. Each year, visitors gaze in awe at the distinctive shades of blue, green, yellow and white that emerge, making it a popular spot for photographers and nature lovers alike. Interestingly, the mineral-rich waters also have a story to tell, as they hold cultural significance for the indigenous people of the region who use them for traditional healing practices. While the lake's beauty is captivating, it's essential to appreciate it from a distance, as swimming is not permitted due to the fragile ecosystem. So, next time you think of lakes, remember that not all are just blue or green. Some can truly surprise you with their colorful charm. Goosebumps, an evolutionary artifact from our ancestors. Have you ever wondered why we get goosebumps? This phenomenon is linked to our ancient ancestors. Long ago, when humans and animals had more body hair, this reaction helped them appear larger and more intimidating to predators, while also retaining heat in cold weather. When tiny muscles at the base of hair follicles contract, the hair stands up, creating a fluffy effect. Today, goosebumps are a leftover from our evolutionary past, but they no longer serve the important function they once did. Nowadays, goosebumps are more often triggered by cold or strong emotions. So next time you feel goosebumps, remember that they are a part of your ancient defense system. Did you know the Nile is the longest river in the world? The Nile River, which stretches approximately 6,650 kilometers, passes through 11 countries in northeastern Africa. These countries, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda, depend on the Nile for their economies, cultures, and ecosystems. The Nile is not only a lifeline for millions of people, but also a witness to ancient history spanning millennia. Did you know that a duck's quack actually has an echo? Despite the popular myth that a duck's quack doesn't echo, that's not true. It's not that ducks lack an echo, it's that our ears sometimes fail to catch it. The physics of sound works the same as for other sounds, but due to the frequency of the quack and how it spreads, it may seem quieter or barely noticeable. Next time you're near a duck, listen closely. You might catch its quack echo sounding like it's in stereo. It's nature's version of a whispering gallery, but with ducks. Did you know that ants never sleep? Ants are the real workaholics of the insect world. These amazing tiny creatures seem like they are non-stop working machines, constantly on the go, without ever pausing to rest. But the truth is, ants don't sleep the way we do. Instead, they take short breaks throughout the day to recharge their energy. Their remarkable strength and impressive teamwork make them one of the most successful and efficient species on Earth. It's truly mind-blowing when you realize just how resilient they are.